Happy New Year! I'm Di from Sister Chicks Quilting, and look what I have on my table. You recognize this from last year's video at Christmas time? Well, I'm going to start out this new year with a series with one of the pillows that I told you I wanted to do a series of pillows on. So I'm going to take this one away. Yay! And that leaves me this big luscious feather form that is 22 inches by 22 inches. I think we should do something for Valentine's Day, right? Is that what you think? And I kind of love an ombre, so this is what I've done so far. Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous? This is Moda Bella Solids, and I have taken 4 6-inch strips and cut them out, and this is 24 inches square. Yes, it's bigger than my pillow, but I'm going to go out and quilt it on the long arm. And these are my 2 back pieces. And how I do my pillow is I'm not going to do zippers. I'm just going to fold them over. So I cut these 17 inches by 24 inches so I can have a good little seam and fold them over well. But let me show you some things, some tools that you're going to need for this pillow. Now, I'm not just going to leave it ombre like you saw. I have some applique I'm going to put on it, and I can't wait to show you because I've been working over the weekend on it. It's going to be fun. How many of you have a light box? Look how thin they are. Isn't that cool? They plug in to the wall with a little mini USB or whatever it comes with it. And you turn it on and you can trace on these, and they are wonderful. I use this heavily for applique work, and I'm using it in this one. And I use some scrap fabric. Well, let me show you some other tools that you'll definitely need. And this is one of my heat erase pens. I'll link it in the bottom. I got a set of them, blue, red, black, and white. I can never make the white work on dark fabric. And then, ta-da, my favorite stiletto, of course. And I'm using the seam ripper end on my stiletto, so you will need that. And then I have been using a purple thang. Have you ever seen a purple thang? It's pretty cool. So can you see the little top right here, the little square top? It is 1/4 inch, and it's perfect. I've been using this to turn my appliques with. You will also need some lightweight Pellon interfacing. This is not fusible, okay? It's just very lightweight. We'll get a close-up of it as I go to sew. And then for your applique, I went through my fat quarters and I just pulled some pinks and reds and made some hearts. And I'm going to applique them in the shape of a heart. Then something different that I'm doing on this one, I've never done bias binding. Think I dare try? I had it on the straight way and it just, oh my gosh, it just didn't look cute. It was boring. So I cut it out on the bias, and I'm going to bind the pillow with this cute bias binding. I think it matches really well. Something else that you're going to need is paper and tape. And I used construction paper, just some pink construction paper. It's what I have, not because it was Valentine's Day. If I'd had green, I'd have used green, but it's heavyweight, and that's what I made my patterns from. And I'm going to show you how to do that as I get along. But first things first, let's head out to the long arm, and I'm going to lay down a quilting design on this. I want the quilting design under my applique. So we're going to do that first, then I'll come in and I'll applique. It's a little hard to see because it's pretty dark in here, but that way you can see the stitches laying down on the long arm. To make an applique,
Cut your fabric piece a little larger and place it right side up. Then put your interfacing on top and the paper heart shape on top of that. With a pin, trace around the heart shape. Then sew all around the heart shape right on the line. Trim a 1/4 inch all around your shape. Carefully trim the tip, then clip the curves. Being careful again, use a seam ripper to cut a slit only in the interfacing, cut more slips with scissors, and turn your piece. I use the purple thing to push the seams out, keeping the purple thing on the fabric side only, avoiding the interfacing.
So I've got my quilted pillow top. What do you think of the quilting pattern? Isn't that going to be fun? I'm pretty excited. And I want to show you what I've done and how I'm going to place this on here, because guys, I'm learning with you as I go. So this is a pattern I made with, look at all of these hearts. I'm eyeballing it, and I'm using my seam ripper stiletto as a guide. I'm laying this there and using this part of it on the outside. Okay. Does that look straight, everybody? What do you think? So I'm going to remove all of the hearts for now. I'll just set them over here. And I'm going to put in a couple of pins to keep it in place. You don't want to come back up through. We'll just stick them in like that. Then I'm going to outline the big heart with my heat disappearing pin, and I'll just draw right on the pillow. Okay. Then I'm going to remove this, and it's very light. I don't want it dark. I'll remove it with an iron after I'm all done. But I'm going to set this pattern aside. And by the way, this pattern is printed on 3 sheets of 8 by 10 paper. It's seamed here and here. I am going to put 3 pieces of this pattern on my website. So you don't have to, in case you want to do this very pattern. Now remember, mine is a 22-inch pillow. You can make your pillow any size you want.
Lesson learned. I didn't number the heart appliques, so it took me more time than I thought to get them in place on the pillow top. Hint, using the heat erase pin, number the applique hearts to match the pattern. It's much easier to place them and pin them in place that way.
So I have all of these placed on here, and I'm going to tell you how I applique. I learned this from a really great quilter, and I had no idea that she was appliquing this way. I thought it was all hand stitching until she told me. So we'll just go right here with this heart that's placed here. I am using in my sewing machine Superior Threads clear monofilament on the top, so you can barely even see this. What I'm going to do is I have my machine set on the smallest zigzag stitch I can do, and regular thread in the bottom. I'm just going to start zigzagging, and that's it, right on the edge like so. while I got all excited and finished the pillow. I didn't show you. See how big it is? Isn't it fun? And it's all squishy. It's so cozy. I love the ombre. I'm going to be a little bit critical. I wish I'd auditioned these top pieces on the ombre. I didn't. I auditioned them on white paper, and they look great on white paper. I feel like this one is too bright on the bottom, and these are not bright enough on the top. But I don't care. I love it. I made it by the seat of my pants. I am putting a pattern for the heart on my website, and it's going to come in 3 pieces. I'm not going to give you instructions on making a pillow because it's simply cutting the size you want. I don't know what size your pillow form would be. And then I kind of am in love with the binding on it. That's one of the things that I love. Check that binding out. I did it on the bias, so I think it's so much cuter and gives a lot more to the pillow that way. If you like what you see, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. We YouTubers love those thumbs up. And a subscribe. Share it with your friends. Next week, I'm going to post a Valentine quilt, and it's a cute pattern made with half square triangles. I'm really excited. I've got a cute charm pack. I'm not going to make a heart. I have enough hearts around my house, and I just want one that is out of Valentine fabric, and that's what this one is going to be. So I'm excited about next week. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys coming along this journey with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.